The reality is that I always try my best to find balance. I mean, I feel that I'm as much of an athlete as I am a physiotherapist. I really feel that what keeps me passionate and going to work every day and feeling this energy and never being tired of going to work is this underlying love of helping people to move better and to attain their passions and their dreams. The drive you get from helping an individual like that get back to doing what they love is just incredible. That's one of the things I really struggle with in my job, that if you don't, it's very much a match of the right therapist with the right client. There's only so much you can do.
It's the harsh truth. You can take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink.
So many kids are not good at a particular sport. We know how it is here. Everyone tries to play football, but football perhaps isn't for everyone. But you could be a superstar at a different sport. Even the greatest athlete in the world one day started somewhere. Everyone started from nothing. At the end of the day, motivation runs out. Even myself, I love to train. Overcome that fear in a smart way and you're going to achieve incredible things.
Camilleri, physiotherapist, pain specialist, athlete as well. So can you tell us about your journey, how it started actually? What do you remember?
So for as long as I can remember, I've always been very active. I've liked being outdoors, I've liked trying different sports, and it took me a while to find my sport. So I tried many different sports in my evolution, kind of unbecoming who I am. So I remember myself playing volleyball at a very young age, handball, football, but nothing really stuck and nothing really fit with my personality. And then very randomly I stumbled upon a rugby training session. I was about 12 or 13 years old when I was introduced to the sport, and that has stuck since. So
it was occasional, you weren't specific on rugby?
No, I wasn't. I mean, rugby was very much in its infancy in Malta back then. We're talking now, 16, 17 years ago. Youth rugby was practically non-existent. There was one team which met up once a week, and I kind of just found that session and ended up, it changed my life. It really did change my life because I've been playing rugby ever since. So now for the past 17 years, I've been a rugby player, more or less without stopping.
Do you think that rugby was a factor for you to go into physio?
It definitely got to be there a little bit. I mean, like any sport, but rugby is, as everyone knows, a contact sport. Probably a bit less than people think. People think it's more violent and aggressive than it really is, but it's governed by an incredible set of rules which keep it very safe for the players. Right. But that being said, yes, you do pick up a couple of injuries and you do end up visiting a couple of different physiotherapists over your career. Right. My parents are also both doctors, so that kind of led me into a medical pathway from when I was quite young as well.
All right. And since when you were sure that you weren't to take the physio journey?
So that came a little bit later into my studies. So in the beginning, you know how it is, you kind of look up to your parents a lot, and I thought I wanted to be a doctor. So I kind of started that path towards becoming a doctor. And then seeing even the way that my parents kind of practiced and worked, you notice that perhaps doctors have, in certain cases, a little bit less to do with sports, which has always been one of my big passions. And secondly, perhaps interact with people a little bit less. And that's also one of my passions, interacting with people, getting to know their stories and helping them to achieve this journey, this path to better movement. And that became my passion, and I realized that physiotherapy was probably the profession for me. And thankfully, so far, I'm very happy in the profession.
For how long you've been a physiotherapist now?
So I graduated from the undergraduate degree from the University of Malta degree 6 years ago, and I completed my master's 3 years ago. So for the past, I just finished my master's last year. For the past 3 years, I had been working on my master's as well. So I've been graduated as a physiotherapist for 6 years now.
At the moment, how is your lifestyle? Like, it's work taking a bit over, you're setting up in your new clinic, you told me.
So the reality is that I always try my best to find balance. I mean, I feel that I'm as much of an athlete as I am a physiotherapist, and perhaps although nowadays work does take more physical hours than sport, I am always thinking about sport and finding ways to fit it into my routine and into my schedule. And this kind of secret of finding consistency and balance is one of the things which I feel makes me very happy, and something I really try to tell people to do. To find time to do your mobility, to do your strength training, to do whatever makes you happy and whatever you are passionate about.
In fact, I was having a look at your Instagram. It looks rich. It's not just about physiotherapy, it's not just about training, so it's a very mix and match. But still it's you. There is a tone in it, no? And as soon as I saw it, I said, yes, this is the guy that we have to do an interview with for sure, because there is a lot of passion in you. Maybe someone has told you for sure, but there is maybe when it's when you are someone like you are, there would be clients maybe or even friends that they had a story that with your intervention it affected you as well. So I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Can you tell us about a particular story or a particular experience that you had?
Look, I mean, I really feel that what keeps me passionate and going to work every day and feeling this energy and never being tired of going to work is this underlying love of helping people to move better and to attain their passions and their dreams. It may sometimes almost sound cliche, but I find that if you cannot move well, you cannot live your life well.
For sure.
This is why training is so important, and during injury, why physiotherapy is so important. So whilst kind of being on the spot, I might find it a bit hard to find an individual case, but I can really tell you that anyone coming from a broken finger that's stopping them from playing tennis to someone who's fractured their leg and they can't play rugby, every single one of those people motivate me to do what I do. And that's why the physiotherapy I practice is very movement-based. You'll rarely see me. You will see me inside the clinic, but I will very often be outside in a gym in an active scenario trying to rehabilitate. And that's what I believe the secret to good continuity and good practice really is. If you were to ask me one really big case, I really do remember someone who was involved, a high-level athlete, and for ethical reasons I don't want to mention names, who was involved in a car accident and actually fractured their leg halfway through the season. And they were told from a medical point of view that they would struggle to walk again, let alone be able to play their sport again. And the drive you get from helping an individual like that get back to doing what they love is just incredible. Seeing them run again, seeing them progress through every step of their journey is just something
even
amazing.
The psychological effect.
Of course,
you contribute to their psychological effect for sure.
I mean, and one thing perhaps which I would really like people to understand, one thing which really motivated me to become a physiotherapist is that at one point in my rugby career, when I was 18 years old and just moving on to national team level with rugby, I had quite a serious knee injury myself, and I was also told something similar, that it will be very hard for me to play rugby again. And being through that rehabilitation process myself and seeing how hard a physiotherapist works to get a person back to what they want to be doing is just
you were like on the other side, so but this is a bonus to you when you are
I always tell my clients, you know more about your injury than I know about your injury, because when you're injured yourself, no one knows as much about that problem as you do. You're going to do all the research, you're going to know more than your therapist about what's going on there.
For sure. And what is the main objection? For example, every profession has its objections. If I'm going to challenge you and tell you, listen, what's the main objection or the most part that you not hate, but you find it a struggle in your career? What's it? What it is?
So I feel that perhaps it's in Malta, it might also be around the world as well, but there is a big expectation of people to receive passive therapies. We want to, perhaps as a nation, perhaps as people in general, it's a bit of psychology. We want stuff done to us to make us better. With my profession, that doesn't work. It's very much give and take. I feel like a coach. I feel like someone putting someone through their journey. I cannot do a huge amount and make you better on my own, you know? So that's one of the things I really struggle with in my job, that if you don't, it's very much a match of the right therapist with the right client.
You're saying, but it's like an attitude entitlement problem, maybe?
Perhaps, or perhaps you just need to find the right people to work with as well. But
for sure.
Physiotherapy is not, and perhaps this might also be the reason I didn't go into medicine at the end of the day as well, that it's not a passive input. The passive side doesn't work as well as the active side, and I find that one of the massive challenges in my job, to get people to adhere to the exercises provided, to get people to really get that buy-in. It's the same thing, I'm sure, in training, that unless someone wants to lose weight, wants to train, wants to get better, wants to get fitter, there's only so much you can do.
It's the harsh truth. You can take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. So it's in every profession, I guess, this type of.
Of course. I feel that's very much our job as well, to be that motivator, that coach, that constant upper with the person, you know, and really motivate that person.
And that's one of your strong points, because you like lead by example. You're not just the physiotherapist that you're in the clinic with the couch. You're waiting for clients just to lay them on the couch, 5 minutes and you're done. And that's the way I think personally someone should be in his profession. Like you're going to lead by example as well, and that as well transmit that type of discipline. Because if you expect discipline from someone who is working with you, you have to be an example of discipline as well. So yes, this is very strong, especially that it comes from you as an athlete, from an athlete's standpoint as well. And in Malta, let's go a bit into rugby. So how it came like more serious then? So you told me back in your days when you started wasn't very popular rugby. Nowadays it's another story. Yes. So you saw this
Progression.
Yes, progression through a bridge. What's your take on it? Why it wasn't popular and why you think that now it's more popular than it was?
I mean, I'll be very honest, I think one of the greatest strengths Maltese rugby has had is that we're very lucky with our national team coach who helped us attain a massive success on an international level. And I feel that at a grassroots level with kids, when a certain level of success is being seen on a national level, they get inspired to be better and to kind of join that sport rather than join another sport.
All right.
And I feel this is so important in general for society and for the whole country, because so many kids are not good at a particular sport. We know how it is here. Everyone tries to play football, but football perhaps isn't for everyone. But you could be a superstar at a different sport. So why lose that input of having a sport for the rest of your life just because that one sport is in there? And I'm not just talking about rugby, but I love to see various small sports growing and having a grassroots level, having kids attending, and lots of different people playing lots of different sports.
So you're saying that the coach gave a huge contribution for the factor that the rugby is growing here.
National team grew, and because national team attained success, then the local league grew as well.
All right, I'm not that into rugby. What's his name? Is there a name of the coach?
So there's our national team coach at the moment is called Damien Neal. He's a Welsh coach. I mean, he's been a big mentor to me, both from a personal evolution point of view. So he's super committed. He's helped him from a psychological point of view.
Coming out from you, so it's
No. I mean, I can always see in my history, my background, 4 or 5 people who are definite mentors to me, and I would always name him as one of them. So he's definitely someone who has helped me along my personal journey of growth a lot. But he's also done a massive amount for the team and for the country from a rugby standpoint.
When you were saying he helped you, and he mentored you, what are the key factors that you look up for when you are mentioning someone, he is a mentor to me? What are the main factors that you see in him that make him a mentor?
I mean, I think when you're looking for a mentor, it always needs to be someone who guides, who kind of reflects a little bit of what you want to be in future, because that's what's going to keep you stuck to that person. If you were to ask me actual points which I felt helped me a lot along the journey, was definitely he was with me 24/7 throughout my serious injury. He was always there on Skype. He was always mentoring me, giving me this psychological input, which I didn't know I needed at the time, but now I know how valuable that is. It's also someone who can criticize in a positive way where your weaknesses are without making you feel like he's trying to put you down into the dirt.
Constructive.
He's very, very constructive. And I'm not only talking about this person, but a mentor in general. I feel that that's something which I try to be as a clinician as well. But it's someone that can pick those little weaknesses and make you improve on them and not make you feel weak when you're there. And I feel all the best coaches in the world have this attribute and have this value.
For sure. So what's your take for someone who is just thinking of, all right, it could be that I might start to do something in sport. So I'm on a sofa at home, I literally have a sedentary lifestyle, and I don't even know from where to start. From a physio standpoint, from an athlete's standpoint, and from an inspirational person as well, what's your take on it? What do you suggest?
Look, the one thing which always motivates me is that even the greatest athlete in the world one day started somewhere. Everyone started from nothing.
So everyone started from nothing.
Everyone started from bare bottom. Don't you agree with me?
100%. I'm stating it again, so our followers will just get the fact of it. Everyone started from nothing.
Definitely. From a physio point of view, so this is where I have to put my physio hat on and be a little bit telling people to be a little bit careful. Don't bite off more than you can chew. So the body can literally adapt to anything. We see people who attain massive, incredible feats, but they've been at it for tens and tens and tens of years.
It doesn't happen overnight.
100%. So you can't get off your sofa and go run a 25-kilometer run because you're going to be on the sofa for another 5 weeks unable to move or ending up in someone's clinic. So find a coach who can guide you and start with things that feel small, that feel almost insignificant in the beginning.
Like bite sizes?
Bite sizes that build a habit, and that's what it's all about. It's habit formation. At the end of the day, motivation runs out. Even myself, I love to train. I'd say that frequently I feel demotivated and don't feel like training. But
It's the
why do I
drive.
train? It's just this habit formation. It becomes a habit to find that hour in the day, hour and a half, to get off the sofa and go do your training, no matter how busy you are. So the second thing is habit formation. From an athlete point of view, I just say passion. You build this passion towards sport, towards the community of people you train with, and it becomes a beautiful thing in your life. I know very few people who train and hate it.
Of course.
The majority of people, at the beginning is tough, but then once you start getting into it, just being in this community, being this feeling of getting stronger, being able to do more, it's an incredible feeling.
I think that some time dedicated to shop around, to find your why and to find even what do you really like to do. Because it has to be in the long term, it has to be sustainable, let's say that. To you, it happened just occasionally that you found rugby. Like to me, running it was at that time that it was very occasional that so it just you need to allow yourself and to give the opportunity to yourself to find your why and to find as well what's your passion. You can't say there is no passion in me. You just need to try. I challenge everyone. How many times did you try, actually really tried to do something new, different sport? 2 weeks ago, there was this lady and she told me, this is something a bit different, but on the same concept. I did hundreds of diets and I always had the same result. Really, hundreds? All right, let's sit down and try them down. Actually, they were 10. All right, let's write it down. And when we start to write her attempts, we went to 6. And she is around 40, 45 years old. So she had 6 attempts and 46 years old. And most of them were with the same approach. So I would say 1. So when you sit down and you analyze exactly what you're doing, sometimes our perspective and the reality, the plain reality, is a bit different. Don't you agree?
I mean, I think the point that you're really bringing across and which makes so much sense is it's out of our comfort zone to try something different. I see it myself. Like now that rugby is a little bit on the slower side because of the current situation we're in, I've decided to take up CrossFit. And for the first 4 or 5 times that I went to classes, I felt I'm so uncomfortable. I need to push myself to try this different sport because we go into this state of danger. Our brain doesn't feel safe in this new environment. And it's the same thing when we're about to start training or about to start a new diet or about to get into something new in our lives. So overcome that fear in a smart way and you're going to achieve incredible things.
Overcome that fear in a smart way and you will achieve incredible things. And that was such a good statement coming from you.
Thank you.
And we can even wrap it up with this statement. If you take just the last 5 minutes of this chat, it would be incredible for you guys. Thanks for your time, for coming here.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Big good luck for your career.
Thank you very, very much.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you.